This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by BMO Harris Bank.
We're joined by Neuqua Valley cross-country runner Connor Horn. Thank you for joining us, Connor.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so late in the season, how exciting is this time of the year getting into the really meaningful meets, your regionals coming up, sectionals, and so forth?
Oh yeah, it's really exciting. Like, especially during the fall when the leaves start falling and everything, you know, cross-country season's in full swing, and it's really, everything comes together at the end of the season. We're just really excited for that.
And speaking of the leaves falling, we've been pretty fortunate with weather. Gorgeous day today.
Yeah.
But looking at the year as a whole, some of those meets can get kind of cold. You know, how big of a weather factor is there at some of those late season meets?
Yeah, you never know how it's going to be at state or at sectionals, so you got to prepare for anything. But yeah, we train in any weather, so yeah.
And then speaking of heading to state, you've been there a couple times yourself, and the team seems a perennial trip down to state is made by Neuqua Valley every year. How does this team stack up with some of the teams of years past that you've been on?
Yeah, we have quite a good team this year. I believe our team average at our Richard Spring Invitational that we just ran was 1455 or 1450, which is among one of the top teams we've had. So it's up there with every other team that Neuqua's had. And
I had seen the team ranked 7th in the nation, but 3rd in the state of Illinois. What is up with the depth of the cross-country running in the state that there's just so many phenomenal teams here in Illinois?
Yeah, Illinois is an amazing state this year. Like, it seems like all the other teams competing against each other in Illinois have really pushed everyone else to try even harder. So we're all driving each other to the top, and we're going to see. I mean, we can't really do anything about anybody else, but we're going to try to be as best as we can. So.
In cross country, it is a team sport, but very individualized in its own right as well. How have you felt you've been performing individually at your last several meets here in the season?
Yeah, I've been satisfied with my performances individually. I mean, all the training we do as a team together, though, is what's really important. And like, I'm really happy that I'm able to place well individually in meets, but yeah, having that whole team behind me is also fantastic.
And you had a top 10 finish yourself at state last year. The team finished 4th overall. How important is it for you to be able to improve upon your individual and team results at this year's meet if you can get there?
Yeah, individually, yeah, it's important to get lower points. So especially if in the state meet comes down to like every single point matters, I need to make sure to pass as many guys as I can. And then team-wise, we unfortunately got 4th by 1 point last year. So yeah, we know every point matters and everybody's going to give it all they have. So at state, we're going to see how it comes out. But yeah, everybody's going to be like vying for every single point there's that.
And speaking of how close you got, just looking at what Neuqua's done in the past decade or so, such a dominant program, a couple of first-place finishes, a couple of third-place finishes. What does that mean for expectations for the team at the beginning of the season? Is it something you guys talk about that like, hey, we need to get this program back to the top?
Yeah, the coaches are extremely experienced with like having teams that are this deep and this like sophisticated as our team. So they know how to do it, but the kids change every year, so they have to lead the kids through it, and they know how to do it, and we're learning more how to like become a trophy team this year. So we're developing, and hopefully by the end of the season we're going to be there.
And speaking of the coaching, Coach Vandersteen's been here since the beginning. What are some things that he's taught you that you've really used and maybe taught to some of the underclassmen as well?
Yeah, Coach Vandersteen, he always talks about doing the little things and getting sleep and eating well, and like that's really what the most important thing is for training and getting better, because there's 22 hours of the day that you're not in practice, and those 22 hours are more important than, well, they're just as important as the 2 hours that you're at practice. So it's cross country is a day-long sport, and it's a season-long sport, and you really just gotta pay attention to everything you're doing all the time.
And at this point of the year, we've talked about the regionals and the sectionals, but a fun event coming up this week in the Twilight Invitational, going to be at Naperville North. How fun of an event is that for the school? Probably a lot of runners in the area that you know pretty well, and just how fun is that event at Naperville North?
Yeah, it's great. Doing it at dark especially it's really unlike the typical meets on Saturday that we have in the morning, and it takes a lot of the pressure off, but yeah, and it adds like an aura of excitement to the whole meet situation. And yeah, it really lets you bond with all the guys. I think we added some teams this year too, so it's becoming to be a bigger meet, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I actually heard there's going to be an estimated 1,200 runners at this year's meet. What's that going to mean for excitement for the team to kind of have that light event before your big kind of conference, regionals, sectionals coming up at the end of the month?
Yeah, it's especially so we have about 150 guys in our team, and like this is going to be their second to last meet before conference, so they're all really excited for it, and we're excited also as well. So it's like everybody's really looking forward to getting a chance to like run a few more meets before the end of the season. So yeah, there's a lot of anticipation.
Best of luck the rest of the season, and thank you for sitting down with us today.
Thank you so much.